Now, ever since the series known as With Love, Meghan via Netflix dropped back in March of this year, we already know that it was instantly labeled as a ratings disaster for many valid reasons out there, not just due to the fact that Meghan Markle is very inauthentic, phony, fake, and just narcissistic in general, but we also know that it had 7 consecutive failed test screenings, actually 8 if you really want to count the ones that they redid. But when you look at everything related to this actual series in isolation, we already know that it cost Netflix many different subscribers / customers in the long run, and that's exactly why CEO Greg Peters is trying to just go into damage control as much as possible, really attempting to save the company / studio as much as they can. And well, we already know that Meghan Markle is also going on the damage control train and lying to the general public in the worst way that she can. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So like I said earlier, I think it's pretty much universal, knowledge at this point that Meghan Markle is self-centered, narcissistic, very phony and fake to the general public, and this is how she's always been, by the way. This is just in her nature. But what's interesting about all this has a lot more to do with her overall take on the criticism, and in the midst of actually firing back at the critics, really just going against them yet again, she gets caught lying not twice, but also 3 times. Let's jump into this, shall we? Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is that we already know that she really created a lot of unnecessary drama between the board of directors, CEO Greg Peters, the many executives who handled this series, and much more. However, alright, get this, now with the Meghan Markle issues already getting more intense both behind the scenes and in the public for Netflix, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle and how she was just caught lying to the public in the worst way possible. Meghan delivered the following: I think in this day and age, we are dealing with a lot of growing issues related to social media, and it for sure was one of our greatest challenges for why my show With Love Meghan that I was more than proud to work on with Netflix. What I don't appreciate, however, is how I am now always seeing these claims that I call myself Sussex now. Meghan Markle is my name, it is my family name. I wouldn't go as far to say that I'm Sussex now. What I said in my show was taken completely out of context, and I think it serves as the epitome of everything that's wrong right now with social media. I think people need to take a closer look at what I said about I'm Sussex now, because it's not really what it sounds like what it means. Of course, I'm Meghan Markle. That clip of ours that went viral for all the wrong reasons was just unfair, not just to me, but also to the entire crew that worked on the show. I think people are misguided when they just see these short clips of certain programs on social media, and that is the growing issue at large. I never at any point said I'm Sussex now on my show in the literal sense that people took it. Not literally at all. I also never once corrected the great Mindy Kaling, who is now a great friend of mine. I think when you take a closer look at social media, because they all like to grasp at straws toward people's flaws. Another thing I thought I needed to address was the house that we rented to create this amazing series. This beautiful home that holds a value of well over $20 million in California was the greatest environment to work on. Now guys, let me just stop here before I actually move on about this. Now, Meghan Markle literally meant what she said in the show when she said, I'm Sussex now. I don't know how you can really take that out of context. I really just don't. She said it right there, blatantly on camera, in the actual show, corrected Mindy Kaling, whether staged or not. Obviously it was staged, but in the story of the show, she corrected Mindy Kaling. She said, I'm Sussex now. She corrected her about her name, Meghan Markle, and all this nonsense. She's just trying to say whatever she has to say for damage control's sake. That's basically what it boils down to. But here's a second lie that she gets caught, with, is that she says that the home that they rented was well over $20 million in value. When in reality, if you do proper research and if you actually know anything to do about the production of this show, the house that they rented was $8 million in value, not over $20 million. So that's another thing that Meghan Markle is obviously trying to really kind of overshine the whole situation, making it seem like that house is a lot more than what it really is. And that's another example of just how phony and fake Meghan Markle truly is. Moving on. She goes on to allude further This $20 million home had everything that we needed at our disposal to create such an inspiring show for women to take charge in their household and to get things done in their lives. When you find yourself in a home that has a value like that, you respect it. This, get this, she says, 6,500 square foot majesty also gave us an endless possibility to work with. And when in reality, guys, it was 4,500 square feet. Again, she is overvaluing the home that they rented, the home that they actually worked in for With Love Meghan Season 1 and Part 2. Alright? She goes on to allude further, I just think the criticism that we received was absolutely horrendous. It obviously came from disgruntled individuals that are against something with women, and that I think the greatest issue we are dealing with today, in both film and television, it's something you have to tackle. It's something that you have to overcome, and just ignore to stand up as a courageous woman in this business and in this entire industry. Now again, let me just point this out once more, is the fact that she keeps going on about the whole concept about how this show is geared toward women and all this nonsense. Look, I don't think any male, alright, is going to really tune into With Love Meghan, let's be real about that. But the certain thing here is that this show, you know, on its own, it has nothing going for it. It has terrible acting, terrible directing, terrible writing. There are a lot of problems going into this actual show, and that's exactly why people are abandoning Netflix. Netflix is making all the wrong decisions lately. We know that, you know, when you look at everything related to the content that they're removing and the content that they're adding, while also raising rates, you know, raising prices for their subscription plans, it's really not a good deal for a lot of customers out there, and why they're heading to other platforms, like, of course, Peacock, or other ones like HBO Max, Amazon Prime Video, you know, etc., etc. She goes on to end, it's a tough battle that you just have to roll with the punches and soldier on and get through the drama and the criticism. So, again, I mean, she lied 3 times, of course, total, when it comes down to what she just said about With Love Meghan. She lied about the whole I'm Sussex now thing. She lied about how she interrupted Mindy Kaling and corrected her about how she's not really called Meghan Markle anymore, and how she's Sussex now. She also lied about the actual statistics of the value of the home that they rented in With Love Meghan. And look, I know that you're going to have a debate out there whether or not this was a minor mistake on Meghan Markle's part. I doubt so, because this is what she always does. This is what she's done for the past 10 plus years. She always lies about the little tiny things here and there to kind of make things seem way better than they really are when they're actually working on the set or when they're actually working on a project. This is typical Meghan Markle. Now, interestingly enough, we already know that this show, alright, we already talked about what they are calling Part 2 as a Season 2 to basically make it seem more successful than it was. Again, that was another idea incorporated by Meghan Markle, because she does have some creative power. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. She does have some creative control over the series With Love Meghan. Alright, that is another major thing that I think a lot of people need to be very well aware about. But she was stripped away, of course, from some of that creative control for some episodes only. Not all, but some. I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this ongoing issue below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.